Hi. So the reason why I don't wear makeup is ever since I was younger, I would see other girls wear like makeup and full face makeup and just cover up their face to the point where they're unrecognizable. And I when I saw that, I always wondered that, what is it like to put on makeup? So I've tried putting on makeup, and each time when I try putting it on, it didn't really feel like it was going to be a part of my identity. It just felt like I was just, trying to cover up my face like daily like that. I felt like a doll, like in the sense like one of those like like one of those like baby dolls where you're just like playing with the makeup and trying to cover up its face, or like a porcelain doll. And I just felt like that just isn't fitting for me. Like, I don't want to feel like I am a toy or an item that is just trying to be something that I'm not. And putting on makeup, it just felt like this part, like, it just felt like it just wasn't a part of me. Like, it's just like laying there, and it just, like, I could, because it's like makeup literally isn't a part of you, and so it's like it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel like it's my skin. It would itch. It would just, my body would just reject it. It would cause me to break out. And the thing is, like, I've noticed is that the girls around me, when they took off their makeup, I noticed that their skin wasn't really looking that good either. And it then caused them to keep putting on makeup as a vicious cycle to cover up the imperfections, instead of just letting their skin just breathe and be. And I realized for myself is that I didn't want to be caught in that vicious cycle of damaging my skin and always needing to cover it up with makeup. As well as seeing like how expensive makeup was, I realized that I don't want to be putting my money towards that. I rather put it towards clothing or food and just focus on my gut health and my physical health, instead of just putting it towards chemicals to put on my face that will just cause a vicious cycle that's unhealthy in the grand scheme of things, just to look what people perceive as what a woman should be doing. And I feel like there should be more acceptance for women just to be a natural, actual woman, in the sense of like not needing to physically add additional substances to their being in order to be perceived as a woman. And I feel like these things have been marketed to us to make us believe that we're not beautiful without it, as well as a lot of men and women, but men to stereotype a woman to be somebody that only wears makeup and shaves himself, and all these beauty standards that, not saying that you shouldn't shave yourself. I do shave my legs, and armpits, and it's just like the thing is like thinking that a woman needs to do all these different things, wear high heels and present themselves in this very particular way, is very limiting for expression of human nature. and being a certain type of like eye candy for a man, when in reality men don't really like, they honestly, a men will, be with you anyways, because it's like if they really loved you, they just loving if they're just loving the high heels and the makeup, why don't they just marry that, like that's not the person. And so I feel like it's a very like limiting view, and I'm not saying if you do wear makeup it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that, if you want to continue doing that, that's on you, and that's how you choose to express yourself. But are you doing it because you actually like it, or are you doing it because you just been around that perception a lot of that's what a woman does? And I realize a lot of people don't really think about why they do things and if they actually like those things. And for me, it's like, you see these flowers back here. There's also another example. It's not that I don't like flowers. It's like to think that every woman wants flowers. The thing is that I have allergies to pollen, and my partner got me these flowers that are foam flowers, but he also bought me these flowers for Valentine's Day, which I very appreciate. And so the thing is like to assume that everybody can just, get flowers and will love them. It's like you have to expand your mind and realize like, hey, there's some people who have pollen allergies. The same thing with like makeup. Like for me, it's just my skin is also very sensitive to makeup. If my skin wasn't sensitive to makeup, I still don't think I would wear makeup either, because it's just like I realize for a lot of women, they spend at least an hour in the morning just putting on makeup. And for me, it's like I really focus on my physical health. I'd rather get more sleep in than put on makeup, because it's like, all the time that I would waste putting on makeup, as well as, maybe if I made my own natural makeup, but also that would take time out of my life. But to focus on my body health, but it's like the thing is that makeup isn't necessary. Like if you really think about it, it's really not necessary. It doesn't really add to anything other than maybe somebody wanting to feel more confident about themselves. But the thing is like confidence shouldn't be tied to an external thing that's not even attached to, your being. Confidence should just be you just loving yourself as who you are, and whether if you're naked or not, just be confident in who you are. And it's just like, because like the thing is like you're dependent on an external item in order to be confident, and it should really be worked on, that lack of confidence, and really just appreciating yourself as who you are. And you should be able to be confident without having to rely on that external thing. Because like what if you lost that external thing? What if someone steals your bag and had your makeup in it, you know and you don't have enough money to buy new makeup? And so it's like, you really need to work on who you are internally and have self-love for yourself that goes beyond. And that's what not wearing makeup has taught me, is how to love myself and have confidence in not wearing makeup, and just appreciating my like imperfections, and just being able to also like appreciate the beauty of people who do makeup, because it's a very, I think it's a great like art form. um, and a different skill set to be able to accentuate your features in such way. I just feel like my face is kind of like a doll, and like in the sense when I put on makeup, like I don't know, maybe people like that feeling of feeling like you're like a doll, and you get to put on makeup on a blank canvas. It's like doing art. But it's like being able to find confidence in having that blank canvas is a beautiful strength that I'm grateful that I have, and that I'm not reliant on makeup in order to feel like confident in knowing that, I know that I'm a beautiful person just the way I am. And I don't need to rely on something external to present myself to society. And I feel like other people, being able to have compassion towards people who have different experiences in life is, by not wearing makeup, is also like great. Instead of judging the person for not wearing makeup, I can appreciate people who don't wear makeup, and I can understand like maybe they have a sensitive face, maybe this and that, and I don't have to pressure them into doing what I do. As well as like if someone does express themselves with makeup and they do something unique and different from other people, maybe they decorate themselves like with dots and like all these other unique types of ways to do makeup. I'm not going to judge somebody who has a gothic makeup. I'm not going to judge somebody who does more cosplay makeup. I'm not going to, if they have certain makeup styles they do for their culture, I'm going to appreciate that and the differences and uniquenesses between different types of people, instead of expecting people to do makeup like the same way that I do makeup, because I notice there's a lot of bullying for people, judging people for having different expressions with makeup instead of like doing the usual, cover up and whatnot. And instead I can appreciate and be like, that's amazing. I see everything as an artistic talent, and instead of it being the person as who they are. And it's very like fascinating, being able to have a different perspective on makeup and society and how people perceive themselves and perceive others, and being able to expand that and realize that none of this really matters. Like, people are putting too much pressure on themselves for no reason, and putting pressure on other people for no reason, and realizing like putting on makeup isn't going to pay your bills unless you're a makeup artist, and even if you're a makeup artist, you're putting makeup on other people. Putting makeup on yourself doesn't pay your bills unless, you're a model, probably, or an actor, and maybe you need the makeup, and so it's like, other than that, what professions out there, you know, what professions out there, really do matter where it comes to wearing makeup. I know a lot of people, maybe if you're in Korea and they have such a beauty standard of what you look like, maybe that's where it matters. But I feel like unless your culture really pushes it, I don't really see it. But I would like more so appreciate like maybe skincare, at least like that will enhance, your life, really focusing on taking care of your skin and, just being healthy overall. I think is what matters most, and really just taking care of your body in the grand scheme of things. And so that's what not wearing makeup has taught me. So thank you for listening. Bye.